shouldn't Sri Lanka be a part of India instead of being a separate nation? So I don't think I have to open the map to show you where Sri Lanka is. I'm sure all Indians know where Sri Lanka is. You ought to know. Yeah. So the question is, shouldn't Sri Lanka be a part of India instead of being a separate nation? Well, let's go back to history, various historical periods in our history, and place Sri Lanka in the context. If we talk about the Mauryan period, that's about 2300 years ago, roughly. Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar, Ashok, and so on. And the Mauryan Empire was at its greatest extent during Emperor Ashok's time. At that time, was Sri Lanka part of India? Was Sri Lanka administered from Patliputra? It wasn't. Was it a vassal? Possibly. But it wasn't part of the empire. If we talk about the subsequent great empire, the Kushan Empire, was Sri Lanka part of the Kushan Empire? It wasn't. Next, you have the Gupta Empire, huge, vast empire. Was Sri Lanka ever a part of the Gupta Empire? As far as I can remember, it wasn't. But let's fact check my memory. Let's find out. Okay, was Sri Lanka part of the Gupta Empire's territory? Let's see. So Sri Lanka was not a formal territory of the Gupta Empire, but it was a vassal state of the Gupta Empire. There, Sri Lanka's ruler acknowledged the Gupta Emperor Samudragupta's suzerainty. So Sri Lanka was a vassal. It was not officially, formally part of India. It wasn't. Gupta Empire. Then the next great empire is the Chola Empire. Rajendra Chola, whether it is Rajaraj or Rajendra, one of those two conquered Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka was part of the official territory. It was formally part of the Chola Empire. So yes, Chola Empire, Sri Lanka was part of India. Then what's next? Maratha Empire. Sri Lanka was not part of the Maratha Empire. British Raj, it was part of the British Raj, but that's not an Indian empire. It's a conquest empire, right? It's a foreign occupying force. So we don't discuss that. We're talking about our history, not the history that foreigners imposed upon us. So if we examine all these different empires that have ruled India, that have been part of our history, our government, our administration, apart from the Chola Empire, none of the other empires had incorporated Sri Lanka formally into its territory. So Sri Lanka is obviously part of the subcontinental region. The Sri Lankan people have the same genetics as us, the same religious and cultural and civilizational heritage as us. They're essentially the same people as us. The language they speak is an Aryan language, Indo-Aryan language. Of course, there is a sizable Tamil population in Sri Lanka who speak Tamil, but once again, same people, right? So Sri Lanka is a nation that's essentially Indian, but it's a separate nation state. So should Sri Lanka be a part of India? It depends on the context. When Joseph Stalin was shown a map of India, he pointed to Sri Lanka and said, "What is this island?" And he was told it's a separate country. He said, "Why is it a separate country? Are you people crazy?" So yeah, from that perspective, if you are a great power, you should incorporate all territories that you can. So the situation today is such that India isn't that powerful. Right now, the situation is such that the greatest, just like the most powerful nation in Western Europe isn't Germany or France or England, it's the United States. Even though the US is geographically not part of Europe, it is still the most powerful entity, the most powerful nation in Western Europe. Similarly, today we have a situation that the most powerful nation in the Indian subcontinent isn't India. It's the United States. And in that situation, there's no way India can make Sri Lanka part of the nation. Maybe in the future, if India becomes way more powerful, may happen. We'll see about that. So It's not about is it morally correct for Sri Lanka to be part of India. There's no morality in geopolitics. It's all about, can you do it? Are you powerful enough to make it happen? And India today is not powerful enough to make it happen.